The rain fell relentlessly over the streets of New York, turning the sidewalks into mirrors of flickering neon lights. Amid the blur of umbrellas and rushing footsteps stood a young girl named Lila, her clothes damp, her shoes worn thin, and her eyes fixed on the warm glow of a bakery window. Inside, people laughed, chatted, and enjoyed the sweet scent of fresh bread. Lila wasn't begging, she was just watching. Hunger gnawed at her, but there was a quiet dignity in the way she stood, as if she refused to let poverty steal her pride. Across the street, a sleek black car idled at the light. Inside sat Ethan Moore, the only son of a powerful businessman. He was scrolling through his phone, half listening to music, half complaining about how the rain had ruined his weekend tennis match. His life was wrapped in comfort, yet he felt strangely restless. When he looked up, his gaze accidentally met Lila's through the misty glass. For a moment, the world outside his tinted window seemed to pause. There was something in her eyes, calm, steady, not broken, that made him frown in curiosity. "Sir, shall we go?" his driver asked. Ethan hesitated. "Wait," he said suddenly. "Pull over near that bakery." A few moments later, he stepped out into the rain, holding an umbrella that probably cost more than Lila's entire wardrobe. As he entered the bakery, the warmth hit him along with a faint sense of guilt. Lila stepped back when he approached the counter beside her. Ethan ordered 2 loaves of bread and turned to her with an uncertain smile. "Here," he said, holding one out. Lila's eyes widened. Her hands trembled as she accepted it. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice barely audible. "But I can't take it for free." Ethan blinked, confused. "It's fine," he replied. "It's just bread." She shook her head gently. "Nothing is just anything. I'll return the money someday. I promise." Before he could answer, she tore off a small piece of paper, scribbled something on it, and handed it to him. It was an address, an old community shelter. "If you ever want to help," she said, smiling faintly, "come here. We feed people every Friday. You can join us." Then she turned and disappeared into the rain. Days passed, but Ethan couldn't stop thinking about that girl. He had met countless people who wanted something from him: money, connections, status. But Lila wanted to give. Her gratitude wasn't desperate, it was genuine. So, one Friday evening, curiosity led him to that same shelter. The building was small, its walls cracked, but the inside glowed with laughter and kindness. Lila was there, serving soup to a group of children. She looked up in surprise when she saw him, but greeted him with the same calm smile. "You came?" He nodded awkwardly. "I thought I'd help." She handed him an apron and pointed to the trays. "Start with the bread. You're good at buying that." That night changed something in Ethan. As he served food and listened to stories of struggle and resilience, he realized how hollow his own world had been. These people had so little, yet their hearts were full. And Lila, poor by every worldly measure, was richer than anyone he knew. Over the weeks that followed, Ethan kept coming back. He helped renovate the shelter, donated supplies, and spent evenings talking with Lila about life, dreams, and hope. She told him about how she'd lost her parents but found meaning in helping others. Her kindness wasn't pity, it was purpose. One evening, as they locked up the shelter together, Ethan said quietly, "You've changed how I see everything." Lila smiled. "Kindness does that. It doesn't need to be big, it just needs to be real." Years later, Ethan would turn that small shelter into a full community foundation, naming it Lila's Light. It became a place where anyone rich or poor could find help, hope, and a hot meal. And though their lives had come from opposite worlds, it was kindness that met them in the middle. Message: true kindness isn't measured by wealth but by the heart's capacity to give. Sometimes, the poorest souls carry the richest hearts, and their compassion can light up even the darkest corners of our world.